The 2025 NFL Draft is just over a month away, and with free agency really shaking things up, this draft class is still pretty wide open, especially at the top of the draft order with the quarterback movement that is still pending out there. Now today I'm going to present to you Mock Draft 5.0. I'm going to break down the top 10 picks as I generally do, and then I'm going to highlight a few key landing spots for some of the players outside of the top 10 in this particular mock draft. Now you can view the full 32 pick mock draft on our website, footballscout365.com, where you can also find our NFL draft big board, our player positional rankings and grades. You can find all of that and more all on our website, footballscout365.com. All right, so let's start off right at the top here. The quarterback market, it's still unsettled. Aaron Rodgers, he's still unsigned. He's going to have an effect at the top of this draft order, depending on where he signs, by the way. If he signs with the Giants, that could change things in terms of where the top two quarterbacks in this draft class may actually land. Now, I do believe that at the very top, the Tennessee Titans, it's pretty much settled that they're going to draft a quarterback at the top. There hasn't been a lot of noise from the Tennessee Titans perspective on what they're going to do outside of, everybody out there in the media has been floating that because there is no noise, the Tennessee Titans are obviously going to just draft Cam Ward at the top. Now, that is not a done deal. They obviously really like Cam Ward. They also said that they really like Shedeur Sanders. So whatever happens at the top of this draft order, somebody's more than likely picking a quarterback at pick number 1, 2, or 3. I think that this whole Aaron Rodgers thing, it could play out all the way up until the 2025 NFL draft is actually happening. It could be, we could be in the middle of the draft before that guy actually makes his decision on what he wants to do. Now, obviously, in addition to the Giants and the Browns needing a quarterback at the top, you've got the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're obviously not in the top 5 looking to draft a quarterback in that particular spot. They are the most desperate team, but they are honestly, in my opinion, that's the best landing spot for a free agent quarterback right now from a QB needy team perspective. The Steelers, in my opinion, would be the best spot. They signed Mason Rudolph to this point. That's all they have basically at the quarterback position right now. I don't know if they're going to move forward with Mason Rudolph if they don't end up drafting a quarterback, if they cannot sign Aaron Rodgers. So this is all going to play out here in the next month or so. I feel like Aaron Rodgers is just going to take his sweet time. Now, Russell Wilson is also in play out there. He had visits with both the Giants and the Browns. Now, I'm going to make my picks in this mock draft based on the assumption that Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson could shake some things up at the top of the draft order, especially if both guys sign with the Giants and the Browns respectively. So what I'm going to do here, though, is I'm going to assume that the Giants are the one team that's actually going to sign one of the QBs at the top. And there's another name, by the way, that I do want to throw out there, Joe Milton. Now, this was floated this week. The New England Patriots, they are willing to potentially deal Joe Milton in a trade for a 3rd round pick. Now, I'm not saying throw a 3rd round pick out there to go get Joe Milton. I had some debates on Twitter, or formerly Twitter, now X. I had some debates with some people when I made the comment that maybe it is a great opportunity for a team like the New York Giants, for example, to potentially just trade a 3rd round pick, take Joe Milton, get him in there with Brian Daboll to develop, maybe even bring in a Jameis Winston or a Russell Wilson so that he can spend some more time developing behind them for another year. I think that would be an excellent opportunity for the New York Giants or even the Cleveland Browns, in my opinion. And also, you've got Joe Flacco out there as well. That's another guy you can bring in, especially if you have a developmental quarterback. And I think any of those guys would be a great option if you were to bring in a Shedeur Sanders in the draft as well. So all these variables, especially with these free agent quarterbacks, must be taken into consideration. And as I already mentioned, the Tennessee Titans, they are not really in that QB discussion or debate right now. With the number 1 pick in this mock draft 5.0, let's just dive right into it. I have the Tennessee Titans. They're going to select Cam Ward, quarterback from Miami, the transfer from Washington State, the guy who played at the FCS level, started his career there, the former 0-star recruit. They're going to bring him into Tennessee to be their quarterback of the future. At number 2 overall, I do have the Cleveland Browns. They're going to move forward drafting a quarterback. So let's just assume that even if they are to bring in a free agent quarterback, they might actually bring in that free agent quarterback to be that bridge quarterback for Shedeur Sanders. I have the Cleveland Browns taking him number 2 overall. Now, the New York Giants, they are in a prime spot if this happens. If there's 2 quarterbacks taken ahead of the New York Giants pick at number 3. That leaves Travis Hunter and Abdul available right there for the New York Giants. And I have the Giants actually taking Travis Hunter for the second mock draft in a row here with the number 3 overall pick. With the number 4 overall pick in the draft, the New England Patriots, they are also in a prime spot if 2 quarterbacks are drafted, number 1 and number 2 overall. And I have them taking Abdul. They would have the opportunity either way to end up with Abdul or Travis Hunter. Now, I believe both the Giants and the Patriots could use either one of these players, so it could go either way. But in this mock draft, I've got the Patriots. They're going to get the dominant edge rusher out of Penn State at number 4 overall. Now, with the 5th overall pick, I have Mason Graham from Michigan. Now, this is a pretty consensus pick in the mock draft world out there, so to speak, at 5th overall. I do like the fit. I think that this is a dominant player. I think he deserves to be in the top 5. I think that this guy has some Aaron Donald qualities. I know people think I'm crazy when I say that, but if you've never watched this guy, and I've watched every single snap that this guy has played at the University of Michigan, he is 100% a game changer. And I think the Jacksonville Jaguars would be in a great spot if they can land this guy on their defensive line. He would be a cornerstone piece for this defense for years to come. Now, at number 6 overall, I've got the Las Vegas Raiders. They are going to select Ashton Jeanty. This is becoming a more popular pick, more consensus out there in the mock draft realm. At number 7 overall, I've got the New York Jets. They're going to select Will Johnson, the cornerback from Michigan. They solved their QB problem, in my opinion, with Justin Fields and with no real high-quality quarterbacks falling in this mock draft. No Shedeur Sanders, as in past mock drafts. I've mock Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward to the New York Jets in the past. They are going to select an elite lockdown corner in Will Johnson out of the University of Michigan. Now, number 8 overall, this has been pretty consistent for me. I'm taking Mike Green, the edge rusher from Marshall, the FBS leader in sacks just a season ago. This is a quick, technical, and relentless edge rusher. He is one of those types of players, in my opinion, that can come right in and be an instant impact star for the Carolina Panthers. Now, number 9 overall, I have the New Orleans Saints. They're going to select wide receiver Tetairoa and McMillan. This is the first wide receiver, by the way, that I've had selected in any of the mock drafts so far in the top 10. Now, this is a 6'4", 220-pound wide receiver, stylistically comparable to a Mike Evans type of player. This is a go up and get it kind of player. Sneaky fast, by the way. He ran his 40 at his pro day just a day ago. There were reports that he ran a 4.48, and then other reports came out later that he ran in the 4.5, 4.52, 4.55 range. Anytime you can get a wide receiver that runs a 4.55 at 6'4", 220 pounds, and then you flip on his tape and you see what he can do with the football in his hands after the catch, not just the contested catch stuff, the body control stuff that you see out there, but the stuff that he's able to do after the catch with the football. This is an absolute playmaker. It's what the New Orleans Saints offense is going to need moving forward to support Derek Carr at quarterback. Now, at number 10 overall, kind of a boring pick, an obvious pick here. It's Will Campbell, the offensive tackle out of LSU. Now, this is a guy who can play either guard or tackle. I believe they can kick him to right tackle right out of the gate. Now, this is one of the more NFL-ready players in this draft class. I think he's an instant impact player at the NFL level. Okay, that'll do it for the top 10 picks of my mock draft 5.0. Let's move into a few picks that I really love beyond the top 10 picks. Now, at number 14 overall, I have Tyler Warren. He is going to be headed to the Indianapolis Colts. He is going to support Anthony Richardson or whoever they're going to have at quarterback, by the way. I know there's a lot of controversy going on within the Colts organization about what they're going to do moving forward at the quarterback position. Nevertheless, a big body tight end like Tyler Warren at pick 14 overall. I think this is a steal considering some other mock drafts have him going in the top 10. Now, my next favorite pick is going to be number 15 overall, the Atlanta Falcons, and I have Colston Loveland, the tight end from Michigan. He's going to be headed to Atlanta. He is going to replace Kyle Pitts. Now, this is an absolute game-changing player for this team. I think when you have a young quarterback like Michael Penix Jr., I say young quarterback, even though he's like 25 or 26 years old or something like that right now. Colston Loveland can be an absolute game changer for your offense. This is a Travis Kelce style player that you would be adding out there with Drake London and Darnell Mooney into this offense. I think it's just an absolute steal at number 15 overall. Now, at number 20 overall, I've got the Denver Broncos. They're going to select Omarion Hampton, the running back from North Carolina. Now, this is one of my favorite landing spots for a running back in this draft class. And I do believe Omarion Hampton, he is good enough actually to be picked in the top 15 of this draft class. But in this particular mock draft, he's going to fall to the Denver Broncos. Now, pick number 30 overall, one of my favorite landing spots for a wide receiver is the Buffalo Bills, and I have Luther Burden III. I'm going to go against the grain here. I've got Luther Burden still going at the back end of round 1 here. I think this would be an excellent landing spot. The explosive after catch ability paired with Josh Allen, just can't pass on this. I believe if he is available there and Matthew Golden is not available and he's already off the board, which hint, hint, he is already off the board in this mock draft. If you go check out the full written version, you can find out where Matthew Golden lands. But if Luther Burden III is available here at pick 30, I like this spot in Buffalo with Josh Allen. All right, that's going to do it for Mock Draft 5.0. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Who is your favorite pick? What would you do differently? Maybe throw out some of your favorite landing spots for particular players. Once again, I want to say thank you for watching the video. Please share it with someone. Also, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more NFL draft content.